Hey, everybody. It is Monday, the 8th of April, 2024. And this is our weekly Go Live Coding session. We're trying to build utilities on Cardano in Golang. And we've been meeting for a couple weeks. And when we started, the concept was, hey, the Andamio team, who's one of the groups behind a catalyst proposal that's driving this work, along with Blink Labs and the devs behind Apollo, we said, hey, we have a CLI, a command line program that we want to build just to help us get some basic stuff done. And we figure that a lot of the things we need are patterns that are probably going to apply to other people. So if we take the chance to build this in public, get together and build some utilities, hopefully that's going to be helpful to some other folks as well. I learned about the hashtag build in public initially from the Blink Labs crew, and I know Chris has been a real champion of that. So thanks for setting that example. And that's what we're hoping to do here. So what we did first is we built some really basic utilities just to demonstrate this concept that when you're building a CLI, it can really consist of many independently operating sub programs. And we can call those islands, or we can call, there's other words we could use. One of the YouTubers that I learned a little bit ago from calls them palettes. So I'm not too picky about what we call these, but it's nice to think about how we could write some functionality here, for example, that maybe structures metadata for an NFT or structures datum for any given project. We can do queries, and we did the most basic one, just querying the tip of the chain. And then 2 weeks ago, I asked Chris, like, hey, what else do you see here as some opportunities? And we've taken a little 2 week detour, the last two sessions, into the new work of UTXO RPC. And without going too deep into that right now, you can review the prior videos and you can find details about this project. And we're certainly going to come back to this over the next few weeks, maybe even at the end of today's session. But Mix and I were talking yesterday, and what we were hoping we could do today is pick up on the work of transaction building that Mix took us through, what was that, 3 weeks ago? We
Yeah,
did an intro
around
to a
that,
simple transaction.
around that.
And so I have a need, right? As somebody who's kind of behind the scenes working on building Andamio deployments, and this is our learning, onboarding, and contribution platform that we've been working on. One of the repeat tasks that I often need to do is to deploy a unique reference script on chain. And we've started using the word deploy informally across the Cardano dev community. I don't know if it's the most accurate word, but the concept is I can take the compiled CBOR of a Plutus script, and then I can attach it to a UTXO for later reference by any transaction that wants to use that script. It's already on chain. And this is the concept of reference UTXOs. So I kind of like the word deploy for this, right? We're going to deploy a reference UTXO that we can then use as we continue to build applications. One of the reasons I think this is really good for a command line interface is that you don't have to do it too often. This is a step that happens when an instance of a Cardano application is built. But once that reference script is on chain, you really don't have to do the transaction I'm talking about again. And so you can imagine a lot of end users might want to mint tokens or trade tokens, and things like that ought to be in some friendly web UI, right? That people are familiar with so that anybody can complete transactions like those. But I was wondering if it feels appropriate. Maybe deploying reference scripts is a nice example of something that would fit as a utility into a command line interface. And I know I can speak for myself. That's the this is how I would prefer to do it, right? I would love to have a simple script where I can say, yep, grab this reference script, put it in a UTXO, put that UTXO on chain at this address, and let me get on with building this application. So what do you think? That's my proposal for what we could look at building today. But does anybody have any questions, first of all, about the current context of our work, what we've done so far, or what I'm suggesting as a possible exploration for today? Does it feel like a safe enough use of 45 minutes to just give this a try right now?
Let's do it.
Let's see what happens. So
Yeah.
Mix, you're building on the stack we've used previously. And so let's say deploy reference script or something. We can change the words later, but you can imagine eventually maybe we want some kind of command like this, right? Maybe I would use.
Right now we have something like wallet to wallet. Like there
Oh,
is
okay, so
this
that's the first
sub
one.
command
Yeah.
that's going to handle all the wallets to wallet transaction.
So we have
And
that way
then
of just building simple transactions.
yeah, and now we are going to add another subcommand called like, deploy or
Ooh,
deploy reference script. We can do that.
something like
And
that. We can put,
sure, once we see there are so many subcommands, there are some similar pattern among them, we can combine them, we can make them more inclusive, rather being inclusive command. But I don't know which design is better, very particular commands for each task or something that you can use, you can remember or you can use for several tasks. Honestly, I don't know which one is better.
let's find out. And we might come full circle, right? What we're going to do is build this today as far as we can with the tools that we have. And in the future, UTXO RPC is going to help us do this, right? And so we talked over the
Yeah,
last 2 weeks about, you know, it's real code that's going to work as UTXO RPC rolls out. So maybe we could even think about that, what that implementation would look like if we have time today. But Mix, can I hand it off to you
yeah,
to jump into the code?
sure,
Thanks,
sure.
Paul.
So let me share my screen. Uh, okay, let me start. So if you guys pull the repo Andamio CLI from a link, James, would you please share that link that I think you already do, but I don't know in the chat.
Yep, coming.
There is this part, and if, as James put, it is kind of islands or palettes or something, and inside that, a transaction can have different a smaller island or something. But for now, we are focusing on transaction builders, and we did something called wallet to wallet, and we try to use a chromatically integrated wallet or Cardano wallet, which you can find the code here, and the codes basically just take a mnemonic words or seed phrases and creates addresses. Here is just S keys addresses. These guys by yeah, just for now these three things: a pop key hash, verification key, and a signing key out of that mnemonic, and then we use that wallet for signing, sending, spending, everything. And we are going to use that for today as well. So the idea right now is we need reference a script, and reference a script. James explained that, but if I give a little bit more context about that and why we need that, around 1.5 years ago, we hard forked to Brutus version 2. And one of the major things Brutus version 2 introduced was this concept reference a script. And let me see, do I have reference a script anything here? UTXOs. I think, but let me open this address in the. It's going to be over Cardano scan, but I think I have to go to Explorer Cardano. And the idea about references, of course, attaching the contract to a UTXO. So that UTXO, since that UTXO, that data lives on chain, everyone can have access to that. And because that UTXO can be used as something called read-only UTXO or witness UTXO, which means a UTXO that you don't need to spend, or the transaction doesn't need to spend. It's just there to bring some functionality or some utility to the transaction. And in the case of reference script, we use the script, the keyboard. So doing that will not only help your transaction to become cheaper, but for some of the so-called decentralization, headless dApp, putting something out there so other people can interact with and use it for minting, for any trading, any sort of contract. Look, we are going to have all sort of contract as well. I don't know how long, but in coming weeks or months, we are going to have voting on proposal contracts. So you want to give your DAO member a means to, just vote, and they need that proposal contract or voting contract. So slowly the reference script becoming essential. And if this thing come, and if I hope I have, so I want to just show you, but if it comes, great. If not, never mind. So meanwhile, let me create another, kind of a simple or subcommand or smaller island, and let's call it deploy ref script. And since again we need the user, and we don't have a mean for now to give verification and S key to the command, and that code read from the command line and do the signing, same as any Cardano CLI command. We're going to just copy this guy and paste it, although we can just uh, use it somehow globally, this guy, and just import this. But for now, let's make an ugly code which works, and then we can make it beautiful or more compact and performance wise better. So I'm just going to change this wallet to wallet to deploy, to have a different and distinguishable naming, a package name, ref script. And this is but same as that. We don't need anything else. We just want some of the, as I said, these guys for the signing and stuff. And then I can just kind of copy paste this, but sorry. Okay, I thought someone is asking a question. So let's go to the Loy ref script dot go, and here we are going to write the code package yep, and then let's just start with the function, and function would be same as the wallet to wallet wallet to wallet tx builder would be something like that. It's just the name. I think, and then if I follow the naming convention, what was wallet to wallet? Okay. This was the Cobra file, not the TX building. Sorry. So we can have that as well, or we can just being lazy is not bad. Just for the sake of making excuses to copy paste stuff. Just deploy this, can just use it. So uh, the variable we need for this command, we can talk about that right now. Or let's actually build the transaction file, and then coming back and see what our transaction needs. Because I haven't built it. Most likely, I mean, that's a we need a CBOR, a contract, which we haven't provided that. This is all the Plutus project-based contract set, because you remember last year we were using this a lot. So this is the usual Plutus version 2 contract. And by the way, you have to have v2. The type has to be v2 for reference. We cannot deploy or put v1 to the chain, as far as I know. So yeah, so this is important, and this is just JSON. It's just for sake of description and knowing, but in fact, in the CBOR hex, it is stated, it is there in the binary, it is there that it is v2. So for example, if we try to do it with Cardano CLI, throw at you an error. But here, I don't think we will have that functionality, but let's see. So let's create another file and call it TX builder. And we can just simply move this guy. I'm going to find, deploy, ref script builder. And if we look to I mean, this is the AI stuff doing for, I mean, trying to guess what I'm doing. But definitely we need origin address, but something I just want to start with, and let's start from that. We can just add inputs for this function. And of course, the output, same as this, will be a string, and that string an error. If any error happens, but a string, and what would that string be is the neighbor of the transaction, or is it yeah, this would be the guy, I think. Let me look at where is the end of that function. Yeah, this is the TX hex, or this, I mean, it would look like something look like this, but it is a transaction. We can deserialize. So same thing here. We are going to expect to get a string or an error. Probably not, but that's the case. We have to handle it. And yeah, for the sake of not getting that much error. And section here, we are going to do some of the basic. Well, we are going to use this guy for just if we get panic, and panics basically means crash. Like if you did something, and your code has to be automatically terminated. Otherwise, you're going to destroy your system, whether it is a memory, CPU, something that it is better your code crash instead of your whole system. So once you get that, once you code crash, there's no recovery if you do not. But if this function help to recover that, so it's like handle that, like this recover. If you wants to go to the rabbit hole of this stuff, you can go, but the whole idea is if this function does something which enforce the system or OS or anyone to crash that, or the end result of this crashing the code, this guy does the crashing, but at the same time do not terminate the program. So if there are necessary steps, it will just do it. Or allotting memory space or something, but just doesn't destroy everything. So it would be a good idea to use it. Some of the things you are going to see in Go repeats often or very, very frequently. So yeah, get used to it. So this is the block frost, and you can put all of a config file or a global stuff so we can use it. And in Go, having a global variable is really easy. Just if you just define that somewhere, like for example in May, actually let's do it now or no. Let's not destroy this. But if you just make this, starting with capital, the variable become global. And of course, it has to be in a package, in global package, something like a main, or like for example, if it has to be like outside of the function, the usual global variables. But the simplicity is just you don't need to put some public, private, whatever behind the variable. Just make it capital and it is global. So for now, again, let's copy paste everything. And of course there is this block frost. These are the block frost configuration, but just several days ago, I've seen Eduardo has added support for Maestro as well. But since he's working on several other stuff, and actually some stuff, and he wants to give some kind of like good version, where the version one is just publishing everything at once, just push that into a branch. So you can have this Maestro chain context. If you want to try out Maestro, you can use this. So we can say kind of unofficially Apollo now support Block Frost, Maestro, and Acmeos, or Acme Go, a combination of Acme Go and Google, which one day we will talk about it. So yeah, but for now, let's go
All
for
right.
Block Frost. Sorry. Again, these are the usual stuff. But for the, yeah, I think let's go for this guy. And copy this here. Let me repeat it so you can see more. And this is just creating that chain context. Basically, it means that if you want to craft that transaction, you need some information to begin your transaction, such as protocol parameters, some of the the Cardano functionality, like what is the menu TXO. So if Apollo doesn't, any Bov library doesn't want to store everything, especially something in regards to blockchain has to get updated uh, frequently again. So just doing that so-called chain context or backend something, Apollo can query block frost and get the necessary information for building a transaction, especially if you want to if you have the contract in your transaction. Spending from a contract, necessarily you need these for calculation of execution units and memories, all this there. So yeah, and these are again usual stuff. And since it is usual, you can basically put them in a function and just call them or give this thing. That's absolutely fine. But as I said, let's go ugly and then but working and then make it beautiful. This is the user UTXO. I'm just giving the that address by doing this. I'm just getting the address of that mnemonic. If you guys remember here, sorry, this guy. So just got the address and build the, using the use in that address for spend or building or creating this reference as script. So then if we're just looking back here, basically we can start to graph our transaction. I think it would be same here. So let's start to that, upload lobby this, and let's see. I mean, sure, there should be again some of the usual stuff like add loaded UTXOs, and add loaded UTXO basically means you just give these UTXOs to your Apollo transaction builder. An Apollo transaction builder has its own coin selection algorithm, so it will go look into it and find a suitable UTXO and craft the input and output. So you don't need to worry about anything. Although, if you want to explicitly say that this is my input and this is the output, there are functions with, for example, out input. So out input, just specify this is my input. It has to be in the transaction. Whether it's going to be a spend or not, you can do it. So these are the functionalities, but let me add the complete as well.
Mix is
Complete.
add input what you would use to reference a reference script, or is there a different method for that?
We have another one. Add input. Basically, if you use that, you have to spend it. Like there, you have to sign that. You have to spend that. But we have something for the called the reference scripts. We can see it. Add the
Yep. Add reference input. Yeah, cool.
reference input. So add read-only TXO, which if I just show you in a Cardano CLI for lovely audience to see that it would be transaction and how it would look like transaction, and I think this is a build. And then there should be something about read-only. You know what? Grep read. Interesting. Don't have probably it's something like this. No. Somehow it doesn't get it.
It's because the output's going to standard error and grep is only looking at standard out. So if before the pipe you do a two arrow
because this is an error.
ampersand
This is
one,
not the
it'll
help.
combine
Yeah,
them and grep can read them.
I see. So if I just do this help, I should get the read. Yeah, I see. So thanks, Aurora. So yeah, I was getting these help or I don't know, the information error something like that. So yeah, but exactly this is the only TX in reference. It's a really mouthful, but basically it means put this UTXO in your transaction and you don't spend it. Just use its information. Not doesn't necessarily has to be its the data it carries, whether it is through a CBOR or it is the for example the datum, because that would be something we are going to see as well. But the UTXO itself is a data, for example, where that UTXO located, the address, the amount, the token inside it, everything there UTXO. You might need transaction as a witness or something. You can use it and you can get all this information in your smart contract, and of course the transaction or script context. So yeah, this is the guy, and same thing for Apollo. If you want, you have to add this guy, but if you if you want to add the input, this guy accepts something different. Add input accept a UTXO type, which is an Apollo type. You can go read about it. There are some stuff inside it. For example, can get its datum, all information. Also, you can get them once you get that UTXO. There is a function to convert normal UTXO, which I mean by normal, I mean normally, like for example, but this function just accept the TX hash and an index, or TX ID and TX ID index, or TX ID and TX ID X. You know, all this, you might see it somewhere. There's again another function. If I just want to show you, let's like Celta, you know, BFC dot get UTXO from ref. And once you, again, I guess you can see, you can get the TX hash and you give the index, you are going to get the pointer, so the UTXO, and we can use it as an input, for example. But for now, we don't have that. We want to just create one, and I'm sure we are going to witness it somewhere as well. So yeah, so add reference input needs just this guy, and you can get this from anywhere, like database or something. But something that actually I'm looking, this should be something, and let me just handle this error. Don't let this F. Yeah. Something I'm looking forward is how to attach that Bluetooth script. So first, let me bring it here and say Bluetooth script, and we can parse it as just a string. I actually I don't know what should be as a string or something, but let's look at to the functions and maybe look into the let me do Apollo self. Maybe yes. So I want something regards script native. So we have build witness set. This is as again in Go, many things are really convenient. So if you see a function which starts with a small letter, it means it is a local function. So you cannot call it. So this function has been used or here. Uh, so it means just I can use it somewhere else as well. But so this means that this is not the guy we want. Build fake. Beta hash. Screen. No. Attach v1. So attach v1 script is attach v1 to Apollo transaction. Okay. So now we want to attach v2. Okay, if we want to attach v2, and this is going to be what exactly is it? Just let's use this guy for now, but attach attach script, and it needs a script Bluetooth data.Bluetooth v2 script. So how we can build this? It was in Bluetooth data. So let me go back here and see how we can build this guy. It is just a byte. So we have to give this, we have to give the CBOR as a byte. Let's actually do that. You know what? Bluetooth data that Bluetooth script v2. Didn't I add this guy? Why haven't I didn't add it? But that's a kind of wrapper, as you guys saw. It's a new name or alias, if I say that, to byte a slice. Go we call. But I don't know why it's not importing. Maybe am I doing something wrong? Pull it. What is this? This was the issue. Yeah. So once we get that Bluetooth script, we can basically put that here. Sorry, that. But I'm not sure how this is going to be attached. Okay, a pointer to Apple object with the attached script. But I wonder if we bring this UTXO here, does this mean it's going to be attached to the output or no?
Yeah, is that only for validating against that script, or is this used to
Probably.
deploy?
But let's find maybe there are something that we can use. You know, the functions for sending something to someone normally start with pay in Apollo. Like pay to address, pay to contract, pay all this. So we have address. We just wanted to send that to ourselves. So let's go for that. And as we can see, we have address, Lovelace, and unit. I don't see something in regards to script. So maybe this is not the guy. Okay, pay to Bake32 address and then no. This is not the guy. Pay to contract. Contract address, Bluetooth data, Lovelace, is in line. No. So these are not. So let's see that do we have output? We have something.
What's a loaded UTXO?
Which one?
What's
This guy?
loaded UTXO? Yeah, what's the
Add loaded UTXO means we just give this UTXO to the coin selection of Apollo, and Apollo is going to choose
okay.
the suitable UTXO for that input. Just handing out the computation and calculation part to Apollo instead of just, for example, just doing add input, you know, several times. By just giving a list or slice of UTXOs to this function is going to choose and also balancing as well. Like the input and output should be balanced. Everything will be doing that, but add loaded UTXO, add payment. Let's see what is this payment. Probably be a pointer to modify appliances with payment added. Payment, let me see, what is this payment? Ensure menu TXO to TXO to TX transaction output. We are post Alonso. address amount script ref. So we have something here. Let's see if it is the one that we want. This is it. But to see something else to do. Yes. Required signer, we want reference. Oops. But maybe we have. That's why I don't know. I see that this, for example, pay to contract, I use this add input, add pay. So maybe we have to use that add payment as well. So we can just, kind of use this. Learn from the code and copy it, bring it here, and paste it here. Although this is a reference to that payment type, and that payment type was somewhere, it was in models, payment I, or where I forgot from, but this guy came from where receiver in line, no. Payment receiver unit state on the automation. No, this is not the one. I thought that I can use that for adding data script, but apparently no, this is not the one. It's the payment guy. This is the payment I and payment I interface. All these sides, transaction output. No. Can submit this. Attach H1. I suspect that attach is for witness. It's not the one that we can attach it to UTXOs. No, is it what here? I'm not saying it. No, it's not here. Okay, so
Where was that? Where was that post Alonso UTX thing?
So there is this payment I interface, and the payment I interface holds these three functions. And there is this transaction output, and transaction output is a structure that holds all this stuff. And if you just go to the structure, you see that there's this post Alonso, per Alonso, and is post Alonso. So yeah, this like this is that structure, and if we just hover around, I mean above this Alonso guy, you can see there is this reference script.
That seems promising.
But how we can, yeah. So I have to build a transaction. I mean, in that, how to add input. I mean, this is the payment I. PTX output. It's a pointer. Let's use this guy. Mm. Mm. Actually, you know, I wonder if I do this, you know, like, and you know, if we just try to modify this type. So now if we use payment, we're going to have this guy as well. So Bluetooth data, Bluetooth reference script. Let me go, what is this guy? And this is what this is okay, this is oh, this says online. I forgot if this structure has underline, does this mean Go will not use it, or there was a meaning something I don't remember. If you put underline of a structure, like for example, a script left, but just put suddenly something like that, it would do something to it. I don't remember what, what it does. But a script left, this is a type of that guy for that SeaWorld guy. So this is the thing. So let's actually, you know what? Let me try that. So now we have the payment, and this payment should be available in Apollo dot payment. Why I'm just getting so much stuff. Oh, what was error? The too few value for a structure. Okay. So we have, I mean, this is the something like this is something we can just do it right now. Let's go for like 1,000,000 and make it as int. The contract address, we don't need the contract address. We have the, I mean, was it the address type? Yeah, address. So we have the address of ourselves, which is this guy. Units, we don't have units. We can go with empty, kind of empty. I mean, let me bring this guy unit. The unit defined by here. So Apollo, yeah, this is right. And then nil, and then is Boolean true. Okay, and then we have the script, which is the Bluetooth script, something like ref. What is your problem? Is on key. Oh, okay, this is a pointer still. Sorry. So this kind of be, but this is a script ref. So I'm going to build something like this. Wait a minute. This is a script. It needs a script, and then where are you? Script. It is Bluetooth data, a script, and then byte. So again, going Bluetooth data. That's a script ref. And then there should be something again calls. I mean, sorry, no, this. I think this is the thing that we cannot. Yeah, I remember. I think if you do underline, it doesn't export. guess.
Is that right?
Uh,
Go experts.
Yeah, is it? Because I cannot use the. Where am I? Where is my phone? Where did it
Sorry, you just lost me. Where were-
go? Okay.
The underscore.
Yeah, if you put underscore behind a structure to define, does this mean it is not exportable or something? Like you cannot
No,
export
no,
it?
no. It would be in the not on the type. It's in the name.
So so putting underscore behind this doesn't do anything?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It does make that type
Yeah.
internal.
Yes.
Yeah, a lowercase letter or an underscore at the beginning of a type or identifier will make it
Yeah.
internal.
Yeah. So that's the same as if you made it lowercase script instead, right? It's going to be internal to this this package.
I see. So
And Mix, I'm watching the clock here.
sorry, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I mean, we have
No, no,
like
oh my gosh. This is perfect. And like this was an ambitious thing to take on for
yeah.
under an hour. And watching how you think about this has been incredibly helpful to me. So thank you. Yeah, I think we can guide people through a similar
I
experience
wish it was,
as the course goes
yeah.
live.
But actually, this is the thing that the one thing that we wanted always to do with this session is just finding these places that we can improve and people can bring the contribution like simply, I mean, not just, I mean, looks simple, but simply by the thing that I just did, like, adding that script ref to that payment part. You can just make the whole lot of Go developer happy. If you
Well,
care happiness.
and just to catch everybody else up, we're delivering on a Fund 11 Catalyst proposal right now. And part of those funds are going to core development of this Andamio CLI. Part of them are going to building a Cardano Go project-based learning course. More on that soon. And then we have a part for advisory from the Blink Labs team and from Eduardo. Thank you all for everything so far. And then the last line item for this proposal is to reserve some ADA just for contributions to these libraries, for example, whether it's in the form of advancements like Mix is describing here, or documentation, teaching materials, examples. So more on that in the weeks to come. We're really excited to see how we can use Catalyst funds to support a little bit of essential contribution.
Indeed.
For today, is your competitive spirit fired up, Mix?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to contact Eduardo and talk about it and continue what we just did. For next session, but maybe there are more there are more stuff to this guy. So it is not just simply adding to a structure. If it is too much, I think we have to just put it aside because we need Eduardo for that. But if it is something that is possible to do it, if even I can do it, because I personally do not, I'm just walking blindly. But if I just look into it, maybe I can figure it out, and then continue building. If not, I have a lot of stuff that I can show you guys next session. Especially regards to datums, the datum parts, and all these things which we're going to discuss. Or if you guys have some requests, if you want to build something, if you try to do something with Apollo and it is possible, or you're not sure, bring it on.
Yeah.
Let's do it together.
Yep. And if you
Thank you.
find it's impossible, that inspires us to build some other things and keep expanding. Yep. I gotta go too, Chris. Thank you. Thanks for being here. But Manuel, you're about to say.
Yeah, I have one really quick question. So I definitely do want to build something this week with this. The short question would be: so is my understanding right that Apollo is not directly talking to Goroboros, but only the RPC or API endpoints, right?
For now.
For
Yeah.
now, okay. So
For
because
now, it's like talking the API of BlockFrost.
okay. Yeah, I'm just asking because the project or the thing that I want to build wants to live very close to the node itself. So I think I want to use Goroboros directly, and the other half question would be, obviously I should read the Goroboros documentation, but do you have any project or other code example that is using Goroboros directly to produce simple transactions and interact on a, let's say, simple level on with it, or is it currently, let's say, Goroboros docs only?
Yeah, we have
Manu,
no
do you have
example.
a simple Goroboros report?
So there
Find it.
are various apps like full
Goroboros
apps.
starter. Goroboros starter. But if there is this functionality in Apollo, I should say, if you want to use local nodes, everything local. And the thing is, I mean, actually, let me share. By the way, James, if you want to leave, sorry.
Yeah, I can make you the host. I don't know what that's going to do to the recording, however, but I do have a meeting that I'm late for right now.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I don't want to explode this. We can also, I'll do some homework and then we'll just discuss next
Yeah,
week.
let's pick up here next
Okay,
week.
so
Great.
I just want to say Apollo can use two tools called Go and Kugo. You can find them in Sunday Swap repository. So those are the things you can implement in your, I mean, they are Dockers basically. You can implement in your local, and then Apollo will talk to the Agmi combination of Go and Kugo to get all this information, submit everything.
Okay.
So
okay.
an Go is Golang version of Agmios, and Kugo is Golang version of Kupo, and both of them are Haskell. But you just Sunday Swap repo, Go, Kugo, and then in Apollo repo you can find how to bring it. If not, next week I can show you how you can bring Go and Kugo into your transaction building.
Yes, perfect.
Great.
Thanks.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you all. Thank you, James. See you soon.
Incredible. Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Mix. All right, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.